before I even get into the breakdown of the trial, I did want to talk to y'all about something that keeps on popping up. We keep on seeing this recurring item that keeps getting mentioned, right? And the reason I'm like looking past the cameras because I'm looking at my computer screen just to see if there's any comments I need to tap in with. That's the reason I'm looking past the camera. But so one thing that we keep on hearing them discuss, right? When you hear the defense, they're like, Your Honor, that's Brady, or they need to give us that's Brady. They're talking about evidence, right? So I wanted to read the Brady rule pretty much because I think that it just makes it, what's going on, Trap House Studio? That just makes it easier to really understand, like as we go into the flow, and we've been dealing with this for a few months now, this trial, excuse me, but they've been saying Brady a lot. And I don't know how many people looked it up or wanted to make sure you look it up. But normally when they say like just some random word like that or name, or they're saying like they owe us XYZ based on this name, it's normally case law. It's normally some case that had a ruling and everybody is adhering to that ruling. So pretty much the Brady rule, let me just read the quote unquote in simple terms. The Brady Doctrine is a pretrial discovery rule that was established by the United States Supreme Court in Brady v. Maryland in 1963. The rule requires that the prosecution must turn over all exculpatory evidence to the defendant in a criminal case. So if y'all remember last week when I did the breakdown of the Georgia Code 17-16-4, which talks about discovery and the state's burden, or pretty much the state's requirement of having to turn over discovery or any evidence that they have against the defendants. They have to turn it over a minimum of 10 days before trial starts. So that's what the Brady rule is pretty much discussing. And the Brady rule is not putting a requirement on the 10-day thing. That's the state by state or jurisdiction by jurisdiction thing. But Brady pretty much says that anything exculpatory, the state has to turn it over. And again, this is something that I learned also just following the trial and all that. Exculpatory means anything that could help remove blame from the defendant. So X means like outside of, and then culpatory, that would be blame. So like remove blame or remove fault, or pretty much to say this person was innocent. So if you have evidence as a prosecution that would help the defense in any way, you have to turn it over. The whole thing about helping the defense, or quote unquote exculpatory, now that's one thing I don't know whose determination it is. That must be, I don't know if that is up to prosecution versus defendants or versus the defense to argue what's considered exculpatory. And it's for the judge to make a ruling and say that right there is exculpatory. I don't know if the judge makes that ruling or if there's some type of standard on what is considered exculpatory, what could be used to make a defendant be proven innocent or be proven not guilty, whatever you want to call it. So I think that rule is important for defendants. And I think it's important for everybody to understand as we go forward in this trial. They bring these words up often in this case, especially. And as trial goes on and as more and more evidence is presented, it's good for us to understand what these terms mean. Brady, exculpatory, hearsay, like all this stuff is normally when you pay attention to a trial, you won't hear these terms this often. But because this is such a major case, and it's because we've been watching for 4 months now, or longer if you watch whatever else you could watch. There's a lot of terms for us to keep up with, all of us